Hey there, Roger DeVoe here, and today I'm going to share my favorite tool with you. Right now, I think there's no better time than ever before to be able to get in front of your audience live and really get them to connect with you and show them the value that you have. And my favorite tool for that is Google Hangouts. Now, a lot of people know the importance of doing webinars. I mean, I think webinars right now are the best way to sell a product or a service, but a lot of people don't know how to do it. And a lot of the webinar programs out there, things like GoToMeeting, can be really expensive on a monthly basis. Why I love Google Hangouts so much is, one, it's free, which is awesome. Two, it lets you actually look your audience in the eye and talk to them. Plus, you can also share your slides. So for me, it's by far my favorite tool for doing webinars. But I mean, you can also use Hangouts to just record training videos. You can build online courses, membership sites. You can do entire summits using Hangouts. And I'm going to talk to you about how to do all of those in future videos. But what I'm going to do today is just introduce you to Hangouts, what they are, and more importantly, show you how to launch it and use it. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to your YouTube page. And once you're at your YouTube page, you're going to go over to your channel and you want to go to your video manager. Now over on your left, you're going to see the option for live events. Now if you've never done this before, you're going to have to enable it, so you'll have to agree to the terms and conditions, but it only takes a minute to do. So once you've done that and you click on live events, you're going to see here any events that you've done. So you'll see I did a test and it's still there showing up. But over here at the right, this is where you're going to see new live event. So what you're going to do is click that, and it's going to bring up this menu to set up your event. Now you have two options when it comes to Hangouts. You can do public. So this is if you were doing a webinar or let's say a panel discussion or a video with the sole purpose of getting seen in Google, showing up on YouTube, then you would leave this public. Because let me tell you, Google loves these live Hangouts. So if you want to rank and search for a certain keyword, I suggest you open up Hangouts and do a live event and just talk about different keywords and different questions that your market has, because these videos rank in Google search like nothing I've ever seen. But today we're going to focus on how to make these private. So you're going to see here unlisted and private. Don't do private, because private means you can't share the link with anyone. So if you choose private, you can't do a webinar. Unlisted is going to mean that you doing this Hangout, it's not going to be broadcast anywhere. So the only people that are going to see it are people you invite. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. But for now, just click unlisted. And over here is your title. So I'm just going to put my title as fun. This is where you just put whatever the title of what you're doing is. If you're doing a webinar, maybe put the title of your webinar. Now, if you're doing public, this is where you might want to make sure that you're doing something to do with keywords in your business. But I'm just putting fun for today because I'm just doing this to show you how to use it. Now, underneath, you're going to see this is where you can schedule your event. Just leave it for today and now. Everything that I'm showing you how to do is using this to instantly create a video. The reason why I say that is you can schedule events for the future, but I find it gets a little buggy. Sometimes it doesn't work. So don't play around with that. It's best to just open up, start your Hangout, maybe 30 minutes, even just 20 minutes before you plan on going live if you're using it for a webinar, and that'll be good enough. In your description, same thing. I'm just going to leave it blank, same with tags, because this is private. But you may, if you're doing it public, this is where you'd enter in the description of your video and what you're talking about. Again, you're going to want to use good keywords for your business, any maybe links to your website or any links that you reference. And then same thing with tags. Make sure that you put in any of the keywords that are relevant to your business here. Again, for webinars and what I'm doing, I'm going to leave it empty. So over here, you're going to see the button Go Live Now. That's what you're going to click once you're ready, and you're going to see it automatically picks here under type quick using Google Hangouts on Air. If for some reason custom is clicked, make sure that you just click on the quick. That's going to instantly use Hangouts. It's easy to use. Custom is where you can use third-party programs to basically build your own news studio. I mean, you can do live green screen broadcasting. You can use multiple cameras, but it's really, really complicated to set up. And I wouldn't recommend getting into this unless you're a professional broadcaster or you're really good with technical stuff. So again, for today's purposes, we're just going to use quick and go live now. Now, don't worry, even though the button says go live now, you're not actually going live. And here I'm just going to click OK. And that's going to open up your Google Hangout window. Now, again, don't worry. This isn't live. This isn't broadcasting. Nobody can see this but yourself. Now, this is the Hangout window. You'll notice this little picture of me that's pulsing. This is because my webcam is right now being used for me to record this for you. So normally this is where you would see yourself and you would see what's going to broadcast. So anyone watching, here is where you would see what they would see. First thing I want you to do when you get into the Hangout, click this little settings bar up here at the top and make sure you have the proper webcam selected and the proper microphone. Because what happens is if you're using the default built-in microphone that comes with your computer or laptop, your sound is going to be horrible. So if you don't have an external microphone, I suggest go to your local electronics store. Even if you just pick up like a $15 microphone, your sound is going to be way better than the built-in one with your computer. Now, the one I'm using here is called the Blue Yeti. You don't need to get something like this. I love it because you can use it for interviews, you can use it for round panel discussions live, or you can use it for what I'm doing right now, which is just doing something like a training video or a webinar. I spent probably close to $200 for this one, but I mean, you can usually find it on sale somewhere for about $100. Now, some of the webcams that come with computers and laptops nowadays, even though they say high def, they might be good enough to get by. You don't necessarily need to go out and buy a separate camera, but I highly recommend, if you have a little bit of money to spend, or once you start making money through these videos and webinars, I suggest you go out and get an HD camera. The one I use is the Logitech C920. I think it's the best all-around camera. It's not very expensive. Again, around $100 you can pick one up, and it makes your video look incredible. I mean, for just a microphone and a camera, so let's say $200, you can do live high-definition broadcasting straight to your market. I mean, this is just incredible. To me, it blows my mind the possibilities of what you can do to this. So let me just take a moment to introduce you to Google Hangouts if you're not familiar with it. You're going to see this is your window, and down here you're going to see Start Broadcast. Now, you are not live until you click this Start Broadcast button. So until then, it's like you're in the green room. So you don't need to worry about anyone seeing it. Now, if you want to invite someone to your Hangout, what's really cool about Hangouts is once you hit Start Broadcast, one, it's going to be instantly recorded as you do it live. It gets saved and recorded and uploaded to YouTube. You don't have to do a thing. So this is huge if you're doing training videos, even group coaching, and you want to be able to show a replay, or webinars, you want to be able to show a replay. You don't have to worry about trying to record your webinar onto your computer or your video onto your computer, which takes up a ton of space. This will automatically save and upload to YouTube, which is awesome because it means it's already compressed into a small video file, so it's easy to share. It'll be saved in high definition. I mean, it's just incredible. And you can then use that video for whatever you want. And again, that starts happening once you hit Start Broadcast. So right now, just in the window that I'm in, nothing's being saved, nothing's being recorded. Up here at the top, if you want to invite someone into your Hangout, Hangouts will actually allow you to have up to 9 other people live with you in the Hangout. So you can be having discussions. Again, you can be doing things like group coaching. And not in this video, but in future videos, I'm actually going to show you how to use Hangouts to build online courses, membership sites, to do things like group coaching, mastermind sessions, even for, most importantly, for live webinars. I'll show you how to do all that. But again, for today, I just want you to get familiar with Google Hangouts. So to invite someone, there are two ways to do it. You can either click this icon here at the top and enter in the email of who you want to invite right here in the bar. Or if you don't have the person's email that you want to invite, let's say it's someone that's on your Hangout and you want to bring them in to ask a question, copy this link right here along the top of your Hangout, and you can share that with them by any means. I usually just instant Facebook message it to people, because as soon as someone clicks that link, they're instantly pulled into the Hangout with you. So what I'm actually going to do is demonstrate. I'm actually going to have a computer here right beside me. So I'm going to bring it into the Hangout with me to show you how to switch between different guests, different people broadcasting live. And I'm also going to show you a really cool way to quickly switch between yourself and slides that you're sharing for your webinar. Okay, and while we're waiting for that to join, I do want to make the point that you want to be hardwired into your internet. You don't want, let me mute my computer here. And again, if you're bringing in guests, you definitely want to be using headphones, because what happens is when they talk, their voice is going to come out of your computer speakers into your own microphone, and it'll create a loop, and it's going to mess up all of your sound. So if you're bringing in guests to your webinar, your Hangout, wear a pair of headphones, and it'll save the audio and save your audience's ears. So again, you want to be hardwired into the internet when you're doing a Hangout, because that's how you're going to make sure that you do broadcast in high definition. And it's also going to reduce any lag or wait times for what you're doing. Now, right now, I'm actually just doing it over Wi-Fi because, again, I'm not trying to broadcast, and I don't care if it does high definition because it's not even showing my camera right now. But normally, I do plug directly into my modem and have it hardwired. So you're going to see when the other computer joined, you can see down here in the corner, all of your guests as they join show up down here. And so what you can do is, let me just share the screen. Now to share the screen, all you need to do is scroll over here, click the little green window, and when you click that, you're going to see an option pull up where one, you can just share your entire screen, or any programs that you have open, including websites, you can select those and actually share with your audience what you're looking at. So that would broadcast your screen. And then when you're done, you can come back to the Hangout and hit stop, and that'll bring you back to yourself. All right. So when you're doing a webinar, a lot of times you want to be able to show slides. So what's cool about Google Hangouts is not only can you connect directly with your audience, and this is really powerful. People love to be able to look you in the eye, see you, get an idea of how you teach, how you train. But you also might want to have slides to go along with your talk, maybe just to keep you on track, but also to demonstrate different things. So a real easy way to do this is to have another computer, put your presentation on that computer, and connect it as if it was a guest, like I've just done. So down here, you're going to see whichever face that you click on down here is what's going to be broadcast to your audience. So right now, you'll see the boxes around me. So I would be broadcasting to my audience. And if I want to switch over to my slides, all I have to do is click the guest computer, and it's automatically going to broadcast my slides. And then all I have to do is, while I'm talking, I can switch through the slides on the guest computer, and you're going to see them rotate through. And then at any point, if I want to come back to me to maybe if I want to sit on a slide for a little while, instead of sitting on the slide and having my audience stare at the same blank slide for 10 minutes while I explain it, you can bring it back to you and again, look at them and explain the slide. And then when you want to move on, you click back to your slides. Now this would be the same way if you're doing a panel discussion. When one of the guests wants to talk, you just click their picture and they're now on the big screen being broadcast. Now, a really cool feature of Google Hangouts is if, let's say I have myself selected and I click it again, you're going to see none of the boxes are selected. What's going to happen is whoever is talking, whoever has audio coming out of their computer is who's going to show on the big screen. So right now, Google's having trouble because my voice is going into both computers, so it's struggling with who to pick. But let's say I muted the microphone on this guest computer, it would automatically bring me up. So that's a really neat thing. If you just want Google to automatically switch between the people talking as you're doing a discussion, just make sure no one's selected here. So those are the main things I want to share with you to get ready and set up. Once you're ready to go and you're ready to broadcast live, that's when you just click this button down here, Start Broadcast, and you're going to go live. And it's automatically, again, when you're done, you just click Stop Broadcast. It'll automatically be uploaded and saved as a video to YouTube. Now, if you're doing this as a webinar and you want to broadcast live to your own website or your own page, because you want to have maybe a buy button underneath if you're selling a product or program, or maybe you want to have an opt-in box, whatever it is, over here in the bottom corner, you're going to see links. If you click that button, you're going to get this video embed. If you copy this code, this is what you're going to use to embed this video on your website. Now, again, I'm not going to go into detail with that now. I'll go into detail and show you that in another video. But this is how you can broadcast live through your own website. Now, let me just take a second to make this really important note. There's about a 45-second delay between what you say and your audience hearing it. Now, it could be a little less, but on average, it's about 45 seconds. So that's what I like to plan for. Now, this isn't such a big deal, but it's really important to remember if you're going to be asking questions to your audience. Because let's say you ask them, what's your favorite color? And then you stop and you wait staring at the responses. Well, remember, they're not going to hear your question for another 45 seconds. So it's going to be a little awkward as you're sitting there waiting for answers to come in. So make sure that you have a little bit of filler in between your question and waiting for the answers. So maybe you ask them, tell me your favorite color below. And, you know, my favorite color is green because blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, it's funny what colors tell about people. And I'll share that a little more with you once I see your answers because I don't want to sway them, blah, blah, blah. Again, you're filling the space in between asking your question and getting the answers in. So it's really important that you remember that. So you can set up a whole webinar funnel that looks professional. People enter their email, then they come over to your page. You've got a comment system underneath your video, and you broadcast live right all on your own website using this free tool, Google Hangouts. It's absolutely incredible what you can do with it. Now, the last thing I want to show you is over here on the left, there are a bunch of things you can play with. I mean, Google Effects, you can have sound effects as you get into this. You can add little hats onto yourself, and it's kind of fun. You can play around with it, but it's kind of cheesy. I tend to avoid the effects. But one thing I do want to show you is if you click here on the toolbox, let that open up. Right up here, you're going to see the first option that you have. If you click it, you're going to see the option for lower third. Now, this is a really neat thing. When you see people doing webinars and you see that little strip along the bottom with their name, when they've turned that on, it's automatically going to take your name that you enter in here, and then you can enter your website underneath, and it'll put that info on your video as you're talking live. And you can get creative with this. If you're doing a live broadcast and you're doing a webinar, and let's say you just hit your sales point, and you want to drive people to a specific website link that isn't what they're on, you can even just enter that website link here in the tagline, turn it on, and it'll show up on your screen. Now, right now, again, because my video is not showing, because my camera's in use, it's not displaying. But that can give you the idea. Maybe what I'll do is in post, I'll put one up so you can see. Instead of lower third, there's also an option for custom overlay. And again, I won't get into too much detail about this, but what custom overlay does is you can actually build a little graphic image to upload over your video. And this is where you can have maybe your logo in the corner, your website, maybe a cool little tagline if you have that for your business, and you can really brand your broadcasts so people can get a sense of your business. And this is really good, especially if you're a guest on someone else's broadcast. Set up this custom overlay so that their audience can see your brand, see your business, and start getting used to it. So again, that's pretty much all you need to know to be able to start using Hangouts right away. Again, you can either broadcast to yourself just to record training videos for a program without needing fancy equipment and without having to store it all on your computer, or you can start doing webinars with this. So in next video, what I'll do is actually show you how to build the website pages and how to embed it into a page so you can broadcast live and do webinars and trainings. If you have any questions that maybe I didn't answer, feel free to go into the comments below. Let me know what you think of Hangouts. Let me know what you're going to use them for, or ask anything that maybe I didn't cover, and I'll be sure to answer your question.